Good morning, and this morning I wanted to talk about how my body responds to vibrations of the stories I tell myself. And that was brought on by this card this morning. And what it says is, the law of attraction responds to the vibrations of my stories. So for me, that means, what stories am I telling myself? How am I looking at my life? Looking at the moments that I'm in and looking after myself. Am I telling myself the true story? Am I telling myself the lie? Am I telling my future self or my past self the story? So, for people who live in chronic pain, like I do, and I have done for over 10 years, I've got multiple conditions and was medically retired over a decade ago because I was in a wheelchair. I was consumed by some horrible things and bedridden four times a week usually. So when it comes to your stories, now when you are anxious, stressed, depressed, ruled by chronic illness, yes, it sucks and it is soul destroying, and you can lose people around you very, very quickly, and it can be a very lonely place. But it is down to us to make a story for ourselves that helps us get through a day. And that means finding something within that day that is going to make us feel lighter and not so consumed by the darkness of pain, stress, and anxiety. And of having to be the person that our friends or family kept on wanting us to be, because we're no longer that person. And that is a story that we have to share with the world. We have to share that that person was an old chapter. This is the new chapter. And this is the new story. This is the person who you are now, the good, the bad, the ugly. And it is down to us to write that narrative. We have the pen to our lives. We have the pen to our story. So we have a choice whether we can be consumed or we can start writing that narrative based on what we want. Now, I'm not talking about massive, elaborate lifestyles and everything else, but for me and my experience, mine was to make sure that my past did not come and overtake my present and cause me more stress or anxiety. So for me, it was about journaling, getting all those thoughts out of my head, forgiving my past self, living and acknowledging the present moment. So I would give funny names to my different conditions and my different flare-ups that would happen, because I wanted to be able to give them a name so that I could acknowledge, express how I was feeling to them as if they were another person, and be able to say what I needed to say without hindering my own mental health. So I would give them a name, I would give them an actual dialogue of stuff, and I would make sure that I was changing that story and I was still the main character within the story of all those different characters. And I chose whether or not I let them affect my mental state. And yes, I'm not talking about all the time. I'm talking about not letting them spiral you to the point where your mental health is taken and you just don't know how to get out of that spiral. You have that power. You have the power to change your narrative, to change your story, and to live in your truth, no matter what you are going through. I know it sounds hard, and I know it sounds a bit la and all of that, but you do have that power. You have that power within. You have that power to say, I am worth fighting for. Yeah, and we're all going to have good and bad days. We're all going to have bad days that are like, I just can't anymore. And I've been there. I have been there. But then you have to look and say, you know what? Today might be a bad day, but tomorrow will be better. And, you know, Mona is not going to be here. Mona would have left the building, and Angela will be back. And Angela will be able to find something good within that day. And that could be just reaching out to somebody online, a friend. You know, I made so many amazing friends online that I'd never met. But we all needed someone because we had been left to the side by society because of our chronic conditions. So we have the power and the vibrations to make our stories into what we want it to be. Whether that's by minute, hour by hour, day by day, everyone is different. But you have that choice. You have that power to acknowledge, live in the uncomfortable, and release it out, making sure that your mental state can survive. But also, when your mental state gets stronger and becomes more in line with finding the good within the bad, that also helps your physical being. It really does. Now watch the end of this video. You're going to see me in some pictures of the bad, the worst, and the uncomfortable. And it was a hard time, but I got through. And so can you. But make sure you're reaching out to people that will listen, understand, and accept you for you, who you are now, and not who you were then, or who you will be in the future, but who you are now. In that moment, maybe you're in despair, maybe you're in a great space, but see who picks you up, and who listens, and who walks away. You deserve to be whoever you want to be. You have that power. Don't forget it. Much love.